Hi, I'm Minette Rushing, owner of Custom Cakes in Savannah, Georgia, and today I'm going to show you how we make one of my family's very favorite holiday treats, chocolate-covered cherries. Here's what we'll need. 2½ cups of sifted powdered sugar, 1/4 of a cup of butter, and you'll want that at room temperature, 1 tablespoon of milk, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 jars, and they're about 8 ounces each, of maraschino cherries with stems, and those need to be well drained, and 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Right, to the bowl of powdered sugar, I'm going to add my vanilla, butter, and my milk. And then I'm going to mix all this up. You're going to keep mixing it until it almost becomes like paste-like. Okay, now to finish it off, I'm just going to use my hands and just kind of knead it together. Now if you want, you can always add a little bit more milk if you think it's too dry. All right, mine's a little bit drier than I want it, so I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more milk. All right, I think this is great. This is exactly where I want it. You want to be able to form a ball with your paste. All right, so I've shaped this into a ball. I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit. Now my cherries, I have, when I took them out of the jar, I lined a bowl with some paper towel and put them in it, and they've been in here for probably about 4 hours because they get really, really moist. They're really wet. And you don't want them too wet, but you don't want them dried out completely either. So I'm going to pinch off a ball that's maybe about 1 inch in diameter and just kind of flatten it out. And then take my cherry and wrap the mixture around it. I'm going to pull off any excess too. And you can see, even though these have been draining for quite a while, we still have some juice, and that's what we want. Okay, I'm going to put this here so it can rest, and I'll continue working on these. Now we've got all the cherries covered, and I want to put them in the refrigerator for about an hour so that the coating can get firm before we dip them. So I'm going to cover them in saran wrap to keep them from drying out, keep the coating from drying out. All right, they're ready for the fridge. All right, the cherries have been in the fridge and they're nice and firm and cold and ready to dip. So I've gone ahead and melted the chocolate, and I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about melting the chocolate. I like to melt mine in the microwave, but you have to be very careful. Chocolate burns or seizes very easily. And if you'll put your chocolate in a microwave safe bowl and run your microwave for 20 seconds at a time, and then stir, 20 seconds stir, 20 seconds stir. That way you'll be sure and not burn your chocolate. Also too, sometimes when you're using chocolate chips, when the chocolate melts, it's a little bit thick. So if you need your chocolate to be thinner in order to dip your cherries, then you can add 1 tablespoon of shortening and stir that into the melted chocolate. And if it's still not thin enough, then go ahead and add another tablespoon. But I wouldn't add more than 2 tablespoons. All right, I've lined my pan with parchment paper. If you don't have any parchment paper, you can use wax paper. So I'm just going to pick up the cherries, dip them in the chocolate, kind of let them drip a little bit, and put them down. All right, now just to dress them up a little bit, I've melted some white chocolate. And I'm going to take my fork and dip it in the white chocolate and then shake it back and forth. I think it just makes it look really pretty. These cherries are also really good dipped in white chocolate as well. All right, that looks pretty to me. So what I'm going to do is just put them in the refrigerator and let the chocolate firm up, and then I'll cover it in saran wrap and let them sit for about 5 days. You can eat them before, but if you let them sit for about 5 days, then the candy part, the white part, kind of softens up, and they're just delicious. I hope you enjoy them.